The theory of natural law was invented by St. Thomas Aquinas, who based his theory off the fact that God wanted us to do good things in our lives. God made good things that were good for various creatures. For example, sunlight and water are good for plants, and education is good for humans. God invented the best things to make humans the best they possibly could be. I think natural moral law is important because it prevents society from being totally savage and careless towards each other and other species. Without moral law, our society would never prosper and overall crumble into nothingness because no one would know how to solve problems without violence, which we all know is never the answer to solving problems. Basically, God is awesome. He made you, so you are awesome. It is just important that you don't forget to be awesome. St. Thomas was born in 1225 in Rosacasa, Italy. He had 8 other siblings and he was the youngest of them all. At age 5, he was sent amongst monks to study in the house of Naples. While studying at this house, he learned that he enjoyed doing service work and found his passion learning about spiritual services. He decided to dedicate his life to spiritual service and join an order of Dominican monks. When his family found out about his joining into the order, the family felt so betrayed. Therefore, the family had a plan to kidnap him and kept him locked away for a year. Their goal of having him kidnapped was for him to let go of the beliefs he had regarding the Dominican order and his spiritual life. He is the patron saint of all students and universities. Thomas tutored his sister and communicated with members of the Dominican order. 2 of his brothers hired a prostitute to seduce him, but legends claim Thomas drove her off with a fire and iron. That night, 2 angels appeared to him in a dream and strengthened his resolve to remain celibate. Thomas devoted himself to a life of traveling, writing, teaching, public speaking, and preaching. He believed that there were 2 types of knowledge. Both were compatible and they could work together. He believed that revelation could guide reason and prevent it from making mistakes, while reason could clarify and demystify faith. Most of St. Thomas' works revolved around faith and reason's roles. He explained how both perceive and prove the existence of God. He called this the 5 proof of God's existence. His philosophical and theological writings spanned a wide spectrum of topics, including commentaries on the Bible and discussions of Aristotle's writing on natural philosophy. Aquinas is also known for writing commentaries examining the principles of natural philosophy exposed in Aristotle's writing on the heavens, meteorology, on generation and corruption, on the soul, neochem ethics and metaphysics, and among others. Moral philosophy involves a merge of at least 2, apparently disparate traditions: Aristotelian Judaism and Christian theology. According to Augustine, things that exist are good. This claim is meant to express a basic metaphysical idea, namely, that if something exists, then it necessarily has some degree of goodness. Aquinas recognizes 4 main kinds of law: the eternal, the natural, the human, and the divine. The last 3 all depend on the first, but in different ways. The writings and preachings of his are useful to Christians in any age of the Church. They are also particularly known for the depth of understanding and the orthodoxy of their theological teachings. Fun facts. Thomas returned to Paris to earn his master's degree in theology. His feast day was the same day as his death, March 7th, but because it landed on Lent, it was changed. In 1969, his feast day was changed to January 28th. St. Thomas Aquinas embarked on a journey by foot to Lyon, France, to serve the Second Council. Instead, he was hit by a tree branch and fell ill at Cistercian Monastery in Fossanova, Italy. He died on March 7, 1274, in Fossanova Abbey, Italy. To sustain life, life should be protected and conserved at all times. It's something created by God as a gift to us, and it is our natural instinct to preserve and sustain life. Thomas said, "Recreating life is essential to all living. To procreate is to continue the growth of the human race." Educating children is important because we need to teach children how to use the tools that God has given them. This is necessary so they survive and reproduce. By teaching offsprings, they grow and prosper. Seeking God is also key because it wants people to join the church community and find God spiritually. We tend to want to live in community with others. Our need for love and acceptance is just one reason why it is our basic good to live in society. We also don't want people to turn against us. We want to live in harmony with other people, and we want to be liked by everyone, which is why avoiding offense is one of our basic goods. The act of isolating yourself from ignorance. It is important because ignorance is to be considered a sin.